Chalo, chalo, chalo.
Hey folks, good evening. Looks a little bit different in the back.
Yeah.
I've been moving stuff all week.
Got us a good old. Oh, you're talking about your office.
Yeah, in the background.
Yes, your office is much, much, much different now. Mine is not. It's still, a little junky, little junky.
All right, I'm
I still
sorry.
have
I got a message like as soon as that thing I'm waiting on a message and one of them just came in like literally as you pushed the live button. So sorry about that. Today's been an exciting day. I was supposed to have supposed to do a big thing at work today, and it ended up getting pushed back till tomorrow. So nothing happened today. So it's been a crazy waste of a day for the most part. So we got a bunch of folks in here already. If you did not, we've been doing this for probably last 5 weeks or so, 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so, where we've had some kind of stacking video starting at 6:15, had NB Heritage, and at 6:30 Jules Small Space Gardening, and then 6:45 Moon Child. So excellent videos tonight. So at 6:15 or 6 o'clock, MB Heritage, they're going to be our guests tonight, by the way, but they came on, and Michael's been doing this really crazy good series on breeding chickens. He's been breeding chickens for decades. So I'm going to talk to him a lot about that tonight in the live. But then 6:30, Chef Beth, which is Jules Small Gardening, or Jamie's wife. She made some cabbage rolls. Well, it's phenomenal. My mouth was watering the whole time. It's one of my favorite vegetables. And took a tour around Jamie's garden. And then at 6:45 was Voon. Voon kind of took us around her garden, as well as showed us kind of a little blender device that she's making shakes in, kind of a product test. So that was pretty cool. And so that brings us up to 7 o'clock. We got a bunch of folks in here, 2.5 acres. They were in here a little bit earlier. Idaho Garden Girl, welcome. Paula, how are you, madame? Jules Small Space Gardening, welcome, Jules.
Did you just cuss at Paula?
Huh?
Did you just cuss at Paula?
No, I said madame.
Oh.
Michael Keener, how are you, sir? Voon Child. Voon, I got to hear that story about why and how your nickname was Mikey. That sounds like there's a story behind that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Voon's video from tonight, 6:45. Apparently, Voon had a nickname while she was in the Navy of Mikey, but she didn't tell how it came from or what it came from. Highland Homestead, Eva, welcome. Lakes in the Woods Homestead, how are you, folks? MB Heritage, my friends. Steve from the Garden, Organic Gardening in the North, or in North Carolina. Misha Lee, welcome. Nisi, Freehandly Maid, the Tinkerer's Wife, how are you, Patty? Mad Acre Farms.
You laughed, Paula, but if he was cussing at you, he's about to get these hands.
Mad Acre Farms, we've been communicating with them. Looks like they're doing some great things out, I believe, in Kansas. I'm trying to get them on here, probably be in January. Deb's Way, another one of our Florida friends. So Deb, welcome. Andy, how are you, sir? Hope you're doing well, in good spirits, man. You have been in our prayers for several months. Who else? Steve from the Garden, I think I already said that one. Edmund Dante, welcome. Did I get everybody? Christy Betts, welcome. I think that's it. Everybody as of now. So, there's Michael Marchone. Welcome, Michael. So, been an exciting week. Anyone that's been following us for a few weeks, been talking on our live. I've mentioned it a few times, but even a couple of weeks. Was it last week that I did the live from my office, or 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago, I came on the live, and I was actually at my office in Jacksonville because I couldn't get home in time to get onto the live. So we've been in the planning stages for probably 4 months, and I'm moving my entire business from Jacksonville. I've had a physical office now since 2000, so 21 years. And Lala has convinced me during the pandemic, we were doing a lot of work from home, that we don't need a physical office. So, and I've agreed with her. And so the last 2 weeks, particularly this week, this was the migration week. In fact, when I was leaving my office last Friday, she said, how you feel? And I didn't know what she was talking about, but she was talking about that's the last time I physically left my office over in Jacksonville. And
it's been a success, though, right?
It has been. I mean, my commute has gotten a lot, but now I just walk upstairs. So the implication of that is you'll see the background looks a little bit different because I'm moving things around. So I've got basically a 2,000 square foot office that we're selling most of that furniture and all that stuff over there, and we're bringing a lot of stuff here to the house to put in our office here. So that's what we've been doing all week. I shouldn't say we, Lala primarily, but it's been a mess. So you're going to see some migrations and what it looks like behind me over the next few weeks. Hopefully it'll be settled in the next couple of weeks. But that's what we've been up to. Exciting kind of plans for this weekend. What are you doing, Rick?
I am going to take a 4-hour drive south to have Madeline and hopefully Rick Isaac and Itty Bitty Patrick show their pigs down. I think isn't it Brandington?
Bradenton, or Bradenton? It's like Lakeland area, which is south of Orlando.
It's down there. Anyway, so we're gonna go down there and show our 2 piggies off, and I've been told that Patrick's only thing that he has to execute is look cute. He doesn't actually have to know what he's doing. He just has to look cute. And so Chelsea has gone out and she has spent a lot of time on the kids trying to pick out some of their clothes, and they're pretty darn cute, if I do say so myself. All three of them look pretty neat. So,
Paula wants to know why you sound like you're talking inside of a box.
Because I'm in my little box room. I do have a little bit of a difference. So hopefully I don't sound like too boxy. Plus, I'm also getting over being sick. So,
yeah, here's the deal. So I go out there to the, I'm not gonna say what I've been calling. I go out there to Seattle, where they do not have the same policy and the same philosophical outlook as we do in Florida. You've got to show vaccine cards and everything out there, but we went out and visited my daughter and had a great time. And I was very paranoid about flying. It's the first time I've flown since the beginning of the pandemic. Really was not too thrilled about that, but driving out there was not an option. So I did it begrudgingly. And I was convinced everything got fine. So we get home, and within 3 days, I start getting like this tingling in my throat and congestion in my nose. And I didn't even see Rick. We got home on Sunday night. I didn't see little Rick until literally Friday, wasn't it? Or Saturday of the following week.
Yeah, it was out at the barn.
Yeah, I didn't see him until Saturday the following. And we both show up and we both have this same kind of nastiness in our nose and this cough. And I'm like, how did this happen? Well, we've traced it back to Madeline. So Madeline, we had common exposure to her the week before we left. So we probably went to Seattle with kind of a bug from Madeline. But oh, we got some others in here. Thorhaven Farm, Kyle Randall, welcome. Kyle says the vaccine shot is kicking my back end. That's one of the things. I'm not gonna talk about vax or no vax because I'm not getting into that debate. But
I'll have to mute him if he he starts talking about that stuff.
But that's kind of what I've heard is some people have kind of a nasty reaction to it. So they're going down to Rick and Lala, little Rick and Lala, and his entire family are going down to Central Florida this week for this weekend, this Saturday, for this pig show. Now we're hoping to get video on this. Rick's been told that they do not allow video, and I'm like, it's at a fairground, so it's public space in Florida, and I guess the organizer of the show says you can't videotape. Well, I'm like, this is a public space, and you can't stop me from videotaping. So I hope he gets it, and I hope they allow him to, because that'll be a cool show. That'll be a cool video. This will be the first time that Rick, Madeline, or particularly Patrick has ever shown a pig. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Michael Keener, yes, I am home alone. And when little Rick heard that I was not going, he kind of got a chuckle out of the fact that I've got to take care of the goats this weekend. I don't know why that's so funny to everybody.
Well, this is the thing. So Lala, Papa does, and we've said this in the past. We've done this in the past, or I've said this in the past. Papa said it in the past, where we are a lot of the building stuff around the property. We're the ones that kind of maintain a lot of the stuff. But as far as like the goats are concerned, that's a Lala thing. And the goats by far out of takes the most amount of effort. Going out there, feeding them in the morning, feeding them in the afternoon. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be it'll be interesting. I mean, Dad'll definitely knock it out of the park, but at the same time, he's not used to having to go out every morning and every afternoon to maintain goats.
They're usually doing the chores by the time I get home at nighttime, because I normally don't get home until, or haven't been getting home until, this is one of the reasons I'm moving the office home, until 6 o'clock at night. And by that time, Lala's generally already out in the barn doing her thing. All right, so we have got,
Time out. So I'm not going to put it up yet, but when we start talking to MB Heritage, I have done yet again something different. So I have a phone number that you guys can go ahead and call into. I know there's a lot of people that don't necessarily have a camera set up, or maybe they're on their phone or something like that, and you're kind of watching the stream. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you might not have a question or you want to talk to the guests or me or Papa or whoever. So at some point, whenever we kind of get through some of the questions, I'm going to go ahead and pop a phone number up on the bottom of the screen and a banner, and you guys can go ahead and call that, and you'll be able to talk to me and Papa and the guests, whether it be MB or next week is Black's Tropical Homestead. But yeah, go ahead and like I said, I'll have that. I'm not sharing it out yet. But like I said, I will be sending it out, and then at that point, you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and call in, and then talk to us live on the show. So we'll have us, and then MB Heritage, and if you want to ask, particularly after this video that Michael just did on chicken breeding, that stuff, the genetic side of this stuff is really kind of fascinating. I felt like I was in high school chemistry, and that's like the only class I ever dropped out of in high school, because I'm like scratching my head the whole time. Little did I know when I went into the Navy, they're going to make me take like advanced math and more science. So, yeah. So, Eva, Highland Homestead says, "Do you have a restaurant to give you meals for the pig?" No, we got. They're leaving me in good shape with the pigs and the goats. So Lala's done a good job. She mixes their feed and does all that jazz. So all I got to do is go out there and follow directions. But they're taking our two pigs and the two pigs that we have right now, the two Durocs, those are actually being taken by the breeder on Friday
down to Central Florida, and then late in the afternoon, everyone from our place is going down there. So the breeder's actually taking them down there for us, and that's who's actually been working with Little Rick, or the littlest of the Ricks, Rick's son, and Madeline on kind of training the pigs. So they've been working with them for 6 weeks, 5 weeks, a long time. And when we did the video last week where Rick did the kind of moving the pigs from the back to the front, we had a lot of comments on, boy, those are great at walking. That's because they get walked literally every single day. They've been working with those pigs. So there's some comments in here, Lakes in the Woods on goat math. That's goat math and chicken math. So works the same. So anyone's been following us for a while knows that when we first started our live stream, it's been about a year and a half or so. And then the original format was just what we call get to know them. And we were just bringing folks on, kind of a structured interview, and just kind of ask people the same set of questions each week. And frankly, that just got old. Then we kind of changed that format and just went to kind of an open-ended where we're chatting with people and we're chatting amongst ourselves. And then most recently changed it back because I really enjoyed kind of meeting the newer channels. But when we first did that get to know them section, that's when we first met MB Heritage Farms, Michael and Bobby Jean. And I really kind of fell in love with their channel. They're very knowledgeable, good people. There's some great channels up in North Carolina, and they're one of them. And when we were lining up folks for this series of lives, Michael said, well, we've already been on there. I said, well, yeah, but I really like you guys, so we're bringing you on again. So I'm having devil with this camera tonight. So we said, no, I really like you guys, so you guys can come on again. So in their second appearance, we got Michael and Bobby Jean.
That is entirely way too long of a drum roll. I thought
it was. Your camera green screen. Things have been. How you doing, man?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. Awesome.
You hear us good?
Man, you've been knocking it out of the park with these chicken videos.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I'm aspiring to where you are. I'm aspiring to where you're at with respect to your knowledge of chickens and particularly on the breeding side of things. I've said for 3-4 years now, I want to get to that point where we're breeding, good quality birds that we could then sell. I mean, right now we're selling adult birds, and we've probably sold. We've had a better luck selling adult birds than we have even chicks. So we've probably sold 20 birds in the last 6 weeks. So there are older ones. Well, how you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good.
Welcome back for round 2.
Wide open, crazy busy, but we had fun, man. It was fun last time we were here. We had a blast, so I was happy to come do it again.
Well, the last time, as you guys know, we had kind of a structured format, and this time we're not doing any structured format. I like, we can laugh a lot more when there's no structure, and we can just kind of say what's on our mind, and others say what's on their mind. That's a lot more fun to us. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. We just kind of go through and kind of look at some of the older videos and try to find some topics that we had some questions about, or things that other folks might find interesting. And so my very first question to you, Michael, is what in the world do you do with 1,000 pounds of watermelon?
Well, believe it or not, the neighbors got tired of us giving up watermelon, and we called some of the gurus. We got a lot of local gurus around here in North Carolina, so we called, and Tony and Chris picked some up. I think we was trying to chunk some over to Glenn and April, Bobby's family, Lazy Acres. Jules, Boone, we took some to the cookouts and stuff that we had.
I also used the same thing that you would use for the tomatoes when you're making tomato sauce, and you grind it down and just make tomato juice. And I've actually got a lot frozen for can use in like smoothies and things like that. And then I've got a lot that I've got frozen that's whole that I'm going to be working on wine with. So.
Yeah. What I'm talking about is Michael did a video of, I guess, your total harvest for watermelons was 1,000 pounds in 1 year.
It was over 1,000. That includes the spring. We only planted 2 rows each time, so it was just 2 rows of melons. Half of it was baby doll yellows, and then the sangrias, which surprised him because we knew Travis said they could get up to 40 pounds, but we figured not the first time you grow them in a garden, not in ours anyway, because we're just like, this is our 3rd coming year creating permaculture soil here on this garden.
First year actually growing watermelons.
Yeah, and we hadn't grew any kind of hybrid or anything. We didn't mess with melons. And they just exploded. They went crazy, and we didn't really.
And we got 2 harvests this year off of.
Right. We got the spring one, and then she said she wanted to make. Somebody gave her a winemaker, and she wanted to do all kind of other stuff with it. So I just planted another row, and they got even crazier the second time around. So we're happy with it. I'm not much on hybrids, but we may have to just keep buying those seeds.
The sangria was really good.
Yeah, it's the best watermelon. Everybody that tasted those things said it was the best watermelon they'd ever tasted before.
What is it called? A sangria?
Sangria. It's number 1 for making juices and punch and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Is it just? It's got a lot of liquid in it, or is it just sweeter, or just a lot of like? What makes it just taste better?
Oh yeah, it's both. Yeah, it's both. You'll drown in it. Really, it's like a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
But it's the sweetest. Like it's really rich and sweet for a melon taste. Like it's.
When the bees love it, I can taste. To fight them suckers off trying to eat that, because it is wet. It is. You just bite into it and just watermelon goes all over you.
But that's for both spring and fall. We didn't think fall melons was going to do that, but that 1,000 pounds was 4 complete rows and 2 row seasons and more.
Yeah.
So
I have a question really quick. So Celtic Roots is saying that y'all's mic is just a little low. I think he's talking about y'all's mic because y'all are a little bit lower on our end. Is there any way?
I'm not sure.
I already tried turning your mic up, but then it started to get scratchy. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody can hear you well. Celtic Roots, if that was correct and it was on there, if it's just their mic, let me know, buddy, in the comments.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I can go because we're adjusting it on the webcam.
Yeah, it sounds good on my end.
So right there.
Well, it's clear. It's just kind of low, and that's what he was saying. Adjust the volume.
Oh, don't change that.
No, it won't. Okay. It just says automatically adjust mic volume.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Celtic, buddy, you're probably gonna. Yeah, it's on. He's saying it's on your end. You might just have to turn up your mic a little bit, man.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're using a webcam. We have a what is it? I don't know. Anyway, we have a big. We just don't have it hooked up. We just figured we'd go to the cam.
If we need to, we can change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty decent on my end. So you've got a website or a web channel, I guess you call Garden Gurus TV. YouGrowFood.com. Is that it?
Yeah, YouGrowFood.com. It's probably, I can't remember. I think I started building it sometime last year. I opened it up maybe a couple months later. We're adding things on a little bit as we go. It started out just mostly it's not really any type of collaboration. It's just a worldwide network. And anybody that has a password that goes over at least to the members portal, it's German. It's everybody. I mean, there's all kind of languages. I mean, it's been pretty awesome with the support. And the great part about it is I think it's like out of all those people, I think only a fourth of them is actual content creators. Yeah. So it's pretty great. I mean, I'm proud of how it just took off, and they just took it and made it their own. I think yesterday was 14,000 registered members right now.
Oh, wow.
What was your goal when you started that?
Well, to be honest, it was just for, when we first started out, it was for all of our people, all of our friends that had different types of, they had some platforms like YouTube, Odyssey, Gab, all of our friends that pretty much had the same goal in mind, growing food. And when we did it, we didn't want it just to stick to we didn't want it to be viewed as a collaboration or just be stuck on one platform, because the way we built the website was it was supposed to be the central platform for everything. So once you go over there and you have an account, just a password and a user ID, then it opens up a whole page for you, and you have what we call cards. And every platform you have is listed there. So when somebody clicks on your name, they can find you anywhere. Even if you're not a creator, they'll be able to find you by whatever contacts you want to put in there through any platform. Video links are welcome. You can watch the videos right there. You don't have to go over to a different platform. So that's what the non-creators liked about it. Any content you have, they can just watch right there inside the forum. And then we just started adding stuff to it. Like they asked for, we got somewhere around 8,000 registered members, and they started asking for like a place where they could talk about general discussions. So we gave them that, and we just kind of let them build it the way they wanted. And it turned out pretty great. So we're adding the recipes in on top of that. So now all of our gurus that's growing food, they're not hindered to just doing one thing. If you grow it, you're preparing it in the house, in the kitchen, showing people how to cook it, then it's a guru video. If you're using your chickens or your livestock to build your garden, you're also processing that, it's a garden guru video. Anything to help us be more self-sufficient, and it's just been amazing. That's a support.
Wow.
So to add to that, the initial reason we started Garden Gurus was that we wanted people to have somewhere that they could go local. Like we have the Club Carolinas here in North Carolina, where we have Jamie and Boone and what's his name, Chris and Tony and Glenn and April. And if we needed something or we needed advice for our area, our grow zone, because our grow zone is different than your grow zone, and it's different than a lot of other people's in the United States and anywhere across the country. It's different. We wanted something that we know that if we want to know what kind of green beans grows in our soil here in our general area, and if we needed stuff, we wanted to set up networks in each state and each different area that people could actually go and be face to face in front. If they had questions, if they needed something, if they, because I've gotten Jamie on the phone. I'm like, hey, I need this, and my local nurseries around here don't have it. Does yours? And he'll be like, yeah, I got it. Meet me here, and we'll exchange. And it's a great network to be in, just because of that reason. We wanted people to have a voice all over, but local as well, so that if you had specific questions to your area, that they could get them answered.
Right. Sorry, y'all. I thought you meant why I built the website. I didn't know.
I was
Started the whole
video.
video. Yeah. So yeah, that's better answer than mine.
That's cool.
Hey, I know that mug.
Yep.
Look at that
Yeah, that's Bobby's.
Yes,
That's
is.
Bobby's tumbler.
So you steal it from her? So she laid. So I only sent you. I sent you guys one. So she laid claim to it.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
I think that's only the second time I've sipped out of it.
I'm in my car all the time, driving back and forth to work.
So how do people get involved with the Garden Gurus?
Just use the hashtag. Like the only people that really uses the members portal is people that want more growth because they have more platforms. I know you hear us talk about Odyssey all the time. Eventually, we probably won't be able to talk about it anywhere.
Yeah.
We love Odyssey. It's open platform, open discussion, but we love it there. There's people on Gab that don't want to do neither one.
It's a lot less moderated, but to answer the question, you just go on and register, or any video that you're posted on, whatever platform you're posted on, whether it be YouTube, Odyssey, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, just use the Garden Gurus hashtag.
Yeah, just use the hashtag.
And if you're in a local chapter, like we're in Club Carolinas, which is Jamie's group, we just put Club Carolinas hashtag in most of what we're posting. And then that way it'll go, like he said initially, it'll go through all platforms and not just be on YouTube, where people, not everybody gets on YouTube. A lot of people are on Instagram or whatever what is it?
But there's no cost. There's no cost associated with it.
Absolutely not. Actually, it's quite the opposite, because a lot of our gurus now, well, not a lot, just the ones that's been staying in supporting us the whole entire time. But you don't have to have a membership to use any of it, except for just the portal, where you go over there and make your cards and put all your social media there. and grow with everybody else.
None of it costs.
Right, but none of it costs. But you can still
We carry
be
the cost for all of that.
right. We pay for the website and always will, but
Yeah.
you can just use the hashtag and not even have anything to do with the members portal and still be a guru.
Yeah.
You just use the hashtag and when your videos are showing people how to grow food, how to fix it in the kitchen, processing meat, anything like that.
Anything that has to do with self-sustainability, because
Self-sufficient. Yeah.
our initial thought, and I remember talking to Jamie on the phone, it was all of us on the phone, and I was initially thinking, you know, having YouTube's great, but what if our grid did go down? What if our internet happened to go out and we needed something, we needed to know how to do something? You want to build a network of people that, again, are close to you in vicinity that you could go and say, hey, can you help me out on this? Or barter back and forth and trade, you know, things like that. You know, just things like that.
What's up, Celtic Roots?
So
you can use it almost as like a seed swap.
Yes, and we have actually. Yeah. We really have.
Yeah, I remember we just mentioned it. We didn't even ask. We just mentioned something about we had been looking for some elderberry.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no time.
Jamie showed up at the door. Here, Jules, I got you 6.
In case you don't know who Jamie is, that's Jules Small Gardening.
Yes.
Also in North Carolina, we go visit each other at each other's house all the time now. But
yes.
Not long after that, he picked up the phone and said, hey, I got 6 of them right here. And
I couldn't find them anywhere.
Beautiful clones. I mean, they're some of the prettiest specimens of elderberry we've seen. Like,
yeah. And we have.
Speaking of beautiful specimens.
Yes.
I like your beard. I know that we got on that last time, but Celtics wanted to go ahead and he wanted to throw this out. I'm showing a lot of self-control with a nice big beard in front of him. So I noticed your beard, and I've your beard before.
He's done it virtually in his head instead of physical. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Eva's telling the truth. A seed swap, meat swap, gardening swap, whatever you want to swap. And we've made a lot, like Boone and Jamie, they've both been to our houses. Tony and Chris from, what is their channel name now? Believe on the Cross.
Yes, Yellow House on the Hill.
It used to be Yellow House on the Hill, and then they moved over. And then we've met up with Glenn and April from Lazy Acres, which, I mean, Glenn is my aunt's brother anyway, so we're kind of family and didn't even know it until we met on YouTube. So.
Oh, wow. So anybody's interested in what they're talking about, go over to yougrowfood.com. Check that out. That's the Garden Guru site, and you can register there and kind of see what Michael and Bobby Jean are talking about. So, what in terms of livestock, is that mainly what you guys have? You do a lot of gardening, obviously. How about livestock? Is it just chickens?
For now, yeah. I've had cows before, and we've talked about getting some pigs. We're clearing out a lot. Actually, Dad's, he's, bless his heart, he just got a scrape blade, so he's done scraped half of the bottom half of the property, and yeah,
you just don't. Bobby Jean, you almost smacked your husband.
It happens in life.
He actually dodged your hand when you.
This happens so many times. If y'all get a live stream, you
I talk with my hands a lot.
Talk more with your hands. I want to see this go down live. I want to see Michael's reaction time.
I'm going to go into ninja mode and block because
Look, I'm not the only one.
She loves to talk. But yeah, that's the website post. I built that website by hand in a text document.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
It's Paula. It's you. How do you describe what you, right? You
it's just the letter U and then
yeah.
You grow food, all one word, but you got to use the letter U.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was going to say right quick though, for the Garden Gurus thing, now we're actually building some of our bigger gurus wallets, and we're building stores, and our gurus is going to be able just to make money off the website.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's actually in reverse. Our gurus are going to start making money.
Eventually, eventually that'll be where we go, and it'll be kind of like, well, I mean, we have an Etsy store where we sell our seeds and our tanglers and things like that we have that come out of the thing, but we want to have it because Etsy does charge you a fee. We want to have it there. Like we're hoping to have weeping willow sprouts in the spring, hopefully, and then some elderberry starts, and just starts like that. And if you're in a local area and you want to get something that's going to grow in your soil, again, because the more you grow it in your soil, the more it's going to become resistant to diseases and your temperature, your weather, your climate change. Because I'm not sure how it is in Florida, but in North Carolina, we have about 3 seasons a day that comes through. So
We have two.
kind of
Hot-
crazy.
The whole saying in Florida is if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. I'm sure y'all have something similar.
It's
So,
that
but
way
yeah,
here.
we have our you might wake up in the morning and it might be really really cold and foggy, or it might be muggy and foggy, and then you wait until like 10 o'clock, and then it's blistering hot, and by the time you go to bed, it's now 40 degrees, and it rained earlier too. So yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah, this morning it was below freezing. My car was frosted up, and by like lunchtime, I was in a t-shirt with my leggings pulled up to like short level because I was burning up. It was hot outside, and then when I got home, it was getting close to dusk, and I was like, "Good grief, here we go! Now I got to put my coat back on." It's cold again.
He just dodged you again, Bobby Jean.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
That was more instead of a horizontal side, that was more of an undercut.
Yeah.
Coming and almost to the jawline.
Well, Dad, we're about 36 minutes in. Let's go ahead and do our giveaways for tonight. We're going to be doing the what the bleep again, and these guys have not seen their what the bleep version videos, and so but here we're going to go ahead and play the first one. Now, the way we're going to play what the bleep.
Hold on, don't play it yet. So we're going to give away one of these Clyde's garden planters.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love that.
Given that I knew we were going to talk a lot about gardening tonight. So what this will basically give you some guidance for your fall garden. Flip it over, and this is your spring garden. Gives you kind of based upon when your last freeze is for the season and your first freeze for your summer garden, when to plant and when to replant and how late you can plant. Some suggestions, some guidelines. So that's what this first giveaway is for. And we're going to come up with a new rule that, because last week there was some contested entries after the winner was announced. Whoever's on the live stream. So tonight's award committee will be me, Little Rick, and Bobby Jean and Michael is the 12-15 awards committee. So our decision will carry great weight. And who wins is determined by our stream order, not yours. So whatever.
We have 2 streams up. We have one, or not 2 streams, but we have 2 rows of comments. You have the YouTube side of comments, and then I have on my right-hand side, I have the StreamYard comments. And the StreamYard comments usually come in a little bit more delayed than the YouTube comments do. And so for this, I switch over to my YouTube comments, and I watch. So again, this is called What the Bleep, and what it is, I'm going to play a video. Well, in that video, I'm going to bleep out a very short part, and it is your job to guess what is being said. So we have 2 videos. And we're going to go ahead and watch them. And then as soon as you hear the bleep, go ahead and put down in the comments what you think it is. And you could very well possibly earn yourself a little gardening guide. So here is your first video.
As you can see behind me, the pineapple sage has been doing awesome. We planted that little bit. Probably is about this big, and it's done great this year.
All right. So that is your first one. I'm going to play it one more time. Again, you guys start going and commenting in the comments section. Here it is again.
As you can see behind me, the pineapple sage has been doing awesome. We planted that little bit. Probably is about this big, and it's done great this year.
All right. Do you know what it is at least?
I can't say it out loud, though.
No, you can't.
Out loud. Don't say it out loud. So if you guys
all right, start giving them Putting in the guesses.
Yep, we got sucker already. I'm going to go ahead and here we go. This is for sucker. That's for tree.
He's loving the sound effect.
I will continue looking. I will continue looking in the comments, and while I do that, well, no, I'm gonna wait until after we get a winning guess.
Like Jules.
Jules does be pretty good. We're like Yellowstone around here sometimes with the lane.
Here it is again. Come on, we got sucker, tree, bleep, and dude.
And son of a blah 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 blah.
You guys just have to go ahead and guess the bleep.
As you can see behind me, the pineapple sage has been doing awesome. We planted that little bit, probably was about this big, and it's done great this year.
We got Guy. We got from Hat Creek Homestead, and this is funny. Biatch.
Yeah, it is definitely not the family version of the word. So, it's not that word either. So it is not a.
Oh, that's funny.
Devil. That devil would be getting one of these.
Bella,
So,
Bella, devil.
You picked a really good one with this one.
I tried. You know, the ones I put out last week were relatively easy.
No,
so
Jay, that's not it.
So,
Thing, Bella.
all right. I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm gonna give you all about another 30 seconds, and then we're gonna move it forward.
As you can see behind me, the pineapple sage has been doing awesome. We planted that little bit, probably was about this big, and it's done great this year.
Come on,
Sprout.
come on.
Bella.
Man, I'm assuming that either people are trying to find a video, or they are.
You're getting some view time right now, Michael.
There we go, good old Paula Wells with a booger.
As you can see behind me, the pineapple sage has been doing awesome. We planted that little booger, probably was about this big, and it's done great this year.
Yep.
Good job, Paula.
Paula.
With a booger.
Paula must have found that. Paula, did you find the video? Honestly.
The way you split that bee though was perfect. It really is.
Hey man, I tried to get just a little bit of the B. That way we might get somebody in the comments saying that it was the family version of the word, but it was definitely booger. So Island Homestead.
What'd you?
So yep, the booger. So Paula, you'll be getting one of those. Yep, Paula, you'll be getting one of the growing guides. So,
all right.
Yep.
You gotta do
one more. We got one more now. If you've been tuning in to MB every week, then you should relatively be able to get this one pretty easy. So, and so the first one was for the growing guide, and this one is for the shirt.
So this will be your choice. Your choice is shirt. You got to go to our Teespring account, pick out the size, color, design, send me an email, and then we'll get it out to you. So
Celtic Roots, we have a friendly or family friendly channel. I would definitely not bleep. Hell, half the guests that we have on our show, I don't think they ever cuss on their videos either. So it's a very friendly, family friendly show. So. But again, here's your second video. I would like to see a few more guesses in the chat because this one should be much, much easier.
We're going to be talking to you about today. This is going to be part 2 in our series, How to Create Your Own. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Onyx Firebreed.
What are you creating? What are you creating? One more time.
We're going to be talking to you about today. This is going to be part 2 in our series, How to Create Your Own. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Onyx Firebreed.
Lakes in the Woods Homestead.
What happened?
Lakes in the Woods, is that correct?
It is. Lakes in the Woods. Good job. Good job.
Lakes in the Woods. First
We're
one.
talking to you about today. This is going to be part 2 in our series, How to Create Your Own Chicken Breed. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Onyx Firebreed.
Great job. Great job. Great job.
Awesome.
And we got a lot more. We got a lot more chicken guesses in that one. We got Christy Betts, Michael with chicken, Celtics with cob post. You're wrong. You're wrong, Celtic Roots. Jules with chicken, Blacks with chicken, Hat Creek with chicken. Yeah, you guys are just slow. I mean, Lakes in the Woods, they beat you. They beat you off. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to throw up this right here. So if you guys want to go ahead and call in Lakes in the Woods, make sure that go ahead and send, once you figure out what shirt you want, go ahead and send me and Papa an email.
Yeah, if you go Lakes in the Woods, if you go to our About tab on our YouTube channel, there is a link to the Teespring store there, and it's got to be one of the t-shirts that are shown in the Teespring store. So send me your size, color, design preference, and we will get that out to you. So Rick got this set up, so if you want to call in, kind of chat with MB Heritage, ask them a specific question, that's the phone number. We can get you on there. Michael, how long have you been raising chickens?
Oh man, let's see. Chickens is, like I said before, chickens has always been in our life. I think we talked about it some last time I was on here. I've always had chickens around. I can't remember a time when we didn't really have them. When me and Bobby started moving around, we had went up on Stone Mountain. I think we was there maybe half a year, and we didn't have chickens, but eventually we did. But we've always had chickens. My stepdad, he's no longer with us, but he was a big time shower and breeder. He liked, I think 3/4 of his stock was game chickens. I remember when I was 16 years old, I seen my very first chicken sold for $10,000. And Ayam Samani wasn't even in the picture back then in the U.S. And it was crazy at all the stuff he knew back in the day when the only thing we really had was the library and books. So I just learned a lot. I think most of the stuff started hitting home with me when I was around 17 years old. And then I started taking it, pretty serious.
Was it taught to you, or just experiential, or is it through books, or how?
I think it's mostly research. Now that I have my own breeds, and I promised a few people I would start doing one on because we've created our own breed once before called Midas Gold Layers, and they're exceptional. I can't brag on them enough. Of course, I'm going to. It's my breed, but a lot of other people are really excited about them too. So now when I'm doing stuff like that, it's all research. If I have it here on the homestead, I'm going to know everything down to the DNA profile of the chicken. So when I breed them, I know exactly what's coming out. But when I was smaller, it was just, they was always around. That's what you ate. You had to help take care of, and they was just always around. But like I said, as far as breeding goes and learning more about them and taking it serious, I think I was around 17. But after that, the older I get, the worse I get at it. And it's not really I don't guess you can say it's an addiction. It's just, I'm a perfectionist, so I have to pretty much make sure I have control of everything, because I know when it comes to our homestead, everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
All right, stop right there. Don't say another word. Don't say another word. Bobby can just roll her eyes. I want to hear why she's rolling her eyes.
I roll my eyes so hard. You have no idea. Oh my God.
No idea what?
Perfectionist in you.
Is it that bad?
Very. I've seen paintings.
You heard it first.
I've seen paintings go through the yard, and I'm like, what are you doing? And yeah.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being high.
He's a control freak. He's about at 11 with the perfectionist stuff. It has to be right every time, and I'm so not that person.
We have one of our fellow collaboration people on the line. Everybody say hello to Jules.
What's up, bro?
Can you hear us, Jules?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. What's up, brother?
Can you hear him?
I don't think he can hear me.
I can hear you. He's just low.
I can hear you just really low. Hey, we got Frank and or Tina on here. Welcome. I haven't seen y'all in a while. That's my buddies up in northwest Georgia. So, M. Pedmar, how are you, sir?
All right,
Will,
go ahead,
it
Jules. See if
was
we can.
Michael.
It's just really low on your end, buddy.
That was me, Will. I did it.
Jules,
Michael,
can you
can
hear
you
us?
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
I
hear
can.
you now, buddy.
Yep, I can hear you. What's up, Bubba?
Oh, my bearded flower.
That sounds kind of creepy. There's a story behind that.
Yep.
Did you just call Michael your bearded flower?
Yeah, I call him Pookie Bear.
I do. Because I'm his buttercup Pookie Bear.
All right, hang up on him now, immediately. This is getting creepy. This is going in the wrong direction.
I can already see the gurus dropping out now. Jules, do you have a question for us, sir?
Jules is left because Papa told him to hang up.
So if someone wanted to get into breeding like you guys are, or even kind of moving down that road toward breeding, Michael, what would you recommend? And I'm asking for a friend.
Seriously, a lot of times I try to sway people away from it, just for the way people do it. But to start, really seriously, you really need to look at the genetics of the chickens. If you're going to start doing a breed, it's best to leave the breeds that already have a standard alone. Here on our homestead, if we have a certain type of breed, we always make sure to stay to the standard, or we make the standard better. We don't breed garbage.
Yeah.
Now, that's not saying when you start out with your own breed, you're not going to have stuff that's going to have to be culled, given away, or something like that. But when you're working with somebody else's breed, like here, we didn't create the blue-laced red Wyandotte or any splashes at all. We drove 4 hours to go get them and come back the same direction, and we only got 4 chickens, a roux and 3 hens. But hand-selected breeding those chickens, I can say they're the prettiest chickens we've seen so far. But
I guess a long, shorter version of that is when we're looking at breeding chickens, a few things that we look at specifically is number one is color. You know, what kind of color we're going for, and then one really huge thing is temperament of the chicken or whatever animal you've got going for you. So you want to take the ones that are docile, that don't, like we have a chicken now that chases the kids all the way in the chicken coop, and he's not going to be a main rooster for us to breed because we don't want that on our yard. You want to look at temperament, your hens that don't walk up to you. Temperament can be bred over. Yes, absolutely it can. The color of your eggs that you're looking at breeding, like we have our gold Midas now that we're still working on continuously, because it's a never-ending thing. You have to continuously work on your breed and make it better and make it better. You're looking at your egg colors, like we have a really dark egg that's a really dark brown that we really like. So we're going to isolate that hen and try to breed that more, so to see if the recessive or dominant part of that is going to breed over into the new chicken. Temperament's really big on how we do our chickens, though. If they have go ahead.
How do you isolate them to be able to, if you find that one hen?
Yeah, put them in separate hens with whatever rooster that they're gonna that we like the best. We're gonna put that hen with that same rooster so that they continue to get eggs. And it's 10 to 14 days that they have to isolate. We usually take the hen out and take her out and leave her in a pen by herself for like 10 to 14 days, because not in the same way that humans do, but in chickens, when one rooster mates with a hen, the sperm can then stay inside that chicken for 10 to 14 days. So even after the rooster's out of the pen, so we really have to keep them in a separate pen so all of that can get out of their system.
Gotta have a cleansing period.
Yeah, they can get refertilized by your new rooster that you're wanting to breed with, and then you incubate those eggs.
Right. So to further it on, we don't really breed like other people's. Like the blue-laced red Wyandotte, we hand select colors. We make sure that our light blues don't go so far into splash. We keep it close to standard, but pick the bigger, better birds with a better structure. There's a certain way you can feel a chicken to tell which one's going to lay the bigger eggs. A lot of things like that. So when we have somebody else's breed, like the Viking chicken, the blue lace, that's one of my favorites. We always make sure we stay the standard or we better the standard. Now,
Yeah.
if we're going to create a breed, what we'll do is we'll select our 2 favorite breeds or whatever we think we could make a breed from. And then we start, and you just start from first off, like she said, you'll start first. What we do is structure. A lot of people would just pick color, but I always make sure I pick the structure first,
Yeah.
color next. Temperament can be bred over. I know you guys say, well, I got a rooster and I tamed him down. It doesn't matter. If that rooster already has that genetic in him and 3 of his papas or buttholes in the garden, then he's 90% of the time going to be one too. So you can tame a rooster, but also temperament can be bred over. It can also be fixed. Sometimes it can be food. It can be a deficiency that causes that, and it just be that one isolated rooster. But most of the time, like if you get a Buff Orpington, you're ever going to find a mean Buff Orpington rooster unless you start putting other stuff in there with it.
We got a couple specific questions for you guys. I want to get these before we end this tonight. So Rick's got the first one up there from the Best Life. How long does it take to get a good breed going?
If you're starting one yourself, 5. If you're looking on getting a registered breed, a good breed that you want to be registered, and it's very own breed, you're looking at 10 years just to get stereotypical chickens going and breeding out all of the genetics you don't want.
Yeah.
Because no matter how close you think you got, you'll have 15 or 20 of them to be stereo, like just carbon copy. And then all of a sudden you'll wind up with a black chicken and not know what's going on out of all your white chickens. It's going to happen. So it takes a long time to get a really good standard breed going. But I mean, with work, it can happen.
Yeah. So Celtic Roots are you breeding specifically for egg colors or for unique birds for showing or both? Also, I'm assuming you banned them to keep things straight.
No, we don't. Well, I mean, sometimes we ban them, but not usually because a lot of times they try to pick them off anyway. We have separate pens that we keep them in that, that we can break them up into smaller groups. And we're going to continue to grow as well with our pens, but we're going to keep them separated, but not usually just for egg color. That's just kind of an added bonus. But, I forgot where I was.
So now, out of our breed, she was talking about darker egg color. We did find one that is like the same size as a freaking duck egg, and has been going on since she's been laying eggs. But her bloom, the bloom on the egg, if you take your fingernail and you scrape the egg's lighter in color than the rest of them, but the bloom is so dark it looks like a Welsummer's egg.
Yeah.
That also can be passed over genetics. So we're looking at expanding that chicken. When we do, really quickly, we'll just move it over. We'll make sure she gets a good breeding from the rooster, but they don't stay in there because he's going to, one hen to a rooster does not work. So move it out, and we keep her in there for 10 days, collect eggs off of her, and then after 10 eggs, we'll crack one open, make sure it's fertilized. If not, drop him back in there for another breeding. But that's how we isolate them in temporary broods.
Yeah.
And just make sure we hand select the roosters.
Just the one hen that I was talking about isolating is because of her egg color. That was the only reason. We usually keep at least 3 to 4 hens with each rooster.
Right. Unless like this time around with our Wyandottes, we have only one splash came through. Just one splash chicken period. So we're going to have to take that one chicken overnight, make sure she's bred to our favorite rooster, which we already have one selected.
Yeah.
And then he's gone. She gets to be by herself in a big old nice pen.
Yeah.
And she has a huge
and then we just
barrel, 50-gallon barrel,
eggs.
and we collect her eggs for 10 days.
And we also breed for hardiness in our zone, in our area, because it can get cold here. It doesn't never get cold enough in North Carolina where you have to put a warmer into the chicken brooder. That's a big myth that a lot of people think that they have to have a heat lamp inside of their chicken brooder. You don't, because it doesn't get cold enough here for them to actually get like frostbite or anything like that. As long as you've got an enclosed coop or where the wind can't get to them, they'll be fine.
Here's the last
Paula. So with the way chickens work, it's not like dogs and humans and everything else. Inbreeding really doesn't matter. We just found out recently that chickens, feathered-footed chicken is the closest relative we have to the T-Rex right now. Inbreeding genetics with chickens, because if you guys watch the video today, there's so many different chromosomes, like XX and XY. That's pretty much all we got. And in skin color, chickens have, like, I named 39 today. and there's so many different chromosomes
In the
and
colors.
in the chicken world.
It really
Inbreeding
doesn't make any
matter.
difference.
It's sometimes it has to be done in order to keep that same breed to the standard before you come into something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, with chickens, sometimes it's even better. It's not a bad thing for the birds.
Well, folks, this has been an absolute blast. We're going to go ahead and kind of wrap this up. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up for tonight. Next week, we are going to have Black's Tropical Homestead on here for Wednesday Night Live. And then the week after that, which will be the 29th of December, we're not going to have a guest. We're just going to have a end of year New Year's celebration, and it's still in the planning phases. And so there'll be giveaways, and there'll be, just invites for folks to come on, and so we can chat and talk about everything that's happened this year. So it's just going to be a kind of just a fun kind of party environment. Little Rick's in charge of, he's the party planner. So I'm not sure what to expect. So Michael,
it feels like we ain't even really got to talk, because we could talk forever.
Yeah.
But it feels like we've only been on here 5 minutes. But we really do appreciate the second time around. I ain't seen a lot of people be on here
appreciate it,
2 times, but we had fun again this time. Thank you.
This has been a blast, man, and I promise when we get up there to North Carolina next time, we're gonna touch base with all of y'all, see who we can get a hook up with. We get up there about once a year. Usually it's related to a goat sale. And so we will, we're going to sign off for tonight. Michael, Bobby Jean, this has been a blast. Thank you all for coming on.
Thank you.
And any closing comments?
Nope, I think I just said them earlier. Thank everybody in the chat for coming over, and thank all the support for You Grow Food. And yeah, thank everybody for coming in.
You know how we close our videos, right?
I don't.
Treat everybody.
Treat others as.
Yeah.
Go ahead and close our video out.
All right. Remember, guys, treat others as you want to be treated.
There you go. All right, folks. Good night. Take care.
Thank you.